flight from New York to Los Angeles was supposed to be routine. For 32-year-old Alex Carter, a freelance journalist with a knack for uncovering unusual stories, it was just another leg of his journey. He had boarded the plane with little more than a carry-on and a notebook, ready to jot down ideas for his next article. But what unfolded on that flight would become the most bizarre and terrifying story of his life, one that would leave him questioning everything he thought he knew about reality. The first hour of the flight was uneventful. Alex sat by the window, sipping a cup of coffee and flipping through a magazine. The hum of the engines was soothing, and the cabin was filled with the usual mix of passengers. Business travelers typing on laptops, families with restless children, and a few lone wanderers lost in their headphones. Then something outside the window caught Alex's eye. At first, he thought it was a trick of the light, a shadow or a reflection, but as he peered closer, his blood ran cold. There, on the wing of the plane, was a man. Alex blinked, convinced he was hallucinating. But no, the figure was unmistakable. A man in a dark jacket was lying flat on the wing, his body pressed against the metal as the plane hurtled through the sky at 500 miles per hour. "What the?" Alex muttered, his voice barely audible over the hum of the engines. He turned to the passenger next to him, a middle-aged woman engrossed in a book. "Excuse me, do you see that?" he asked, pointing out the window. The woman glanced over and gasped. "Oh my God, is that a person?" Word spread quickly through the cabin. Passengers craned their necks to get a look, and soon the entire plane was buzzing with panic. Flight attendants rushed to the windows, their faces pale as they confirmed the unbelievable sight. The captain's voice crackled over the intercom, calm but urgent.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We are aware of the situation and are in contact with air traffic control. Please remain seated and keep your seatbelts fastened.
Alex's mind raced. How was this possible? How could someone be on the wing of a plane mid-flight? And more importantly, how were they still alive? As the plane descended to a lower altitude, the man on the wing began to move. Slowly, almost deliberately, he turned his head and looked directly into the cabin. His face was pale, his eyes wide and unblinking. For a moment, it felt as though he was staring right at Alex. Then, without warning, the man stood up. The cabin erupted in screams as passengers watched in horror. The man balanced precariously on the wing, his arms outstretched as if he were about to take flight. The wind whipped at his clothes, and the sheer force of the plane's speed should have sent him tumbling into the abyss. But he remained steady, his movements unnaturally smooth. Alex's heart pounded as he fumbled for his phone. He began recording, his hands trembling as he captured the surreal scene. The man took a step forward, then another, moving toward the edge of the wing. "What is he doing?" someone shouted. Before anyone could react, the man leaped off the wing. The cabin fell silent, the collective breath of the passengers held in stunned disbelief. Alex's phone slipped from his hand as he stared out the window, waiting for the man to plummet to the ground below. But he didn't fall. Instead, the man seemed to hover in midair, his body defying gravity as the plane continued to speed away. For a moment, he hung there, suspended against the backdrop of the endless sky. Then, with a sudden burst of speed, he shot upward and disappeared into the clouds. The cabin erupted into chaos. Passengers screamed, cried, and demanded answers. Flight attendants struggled to maintain order as the captain announced an emergency landing at the nearest airport. When the plane finally touched down, a swarm of officials boarded to assess the situation. Alex and the other passengers were questioned extensively, but no one could explain what they had seen. The man on the wing had vanished without a trace, leaving behind only questions and a sense of unease. In the days that followed, Alex became obsessed with the incident. He reviewed his footage frame by frame, searching for clues. He interviewed fellow passengers, consulted aviation experts, and even reached out to paranormal investigators. But no one could provide a logical explanation. The story made headlines around the world, sparking debates about the limits of human endurance, the possibility of extraterrestrial life, and the mysteries of the unknown. Some dismissed it as a mass hallucination or an elaborate hoax, while others believed it was evidence of something far beyond our understanding. For Alex, the experience was life-changing. He had always been a skeptic, a man who relied on facts and evidence. But what he had witnessed defied all logic, leaving him with more questions than answers. To this day, the mystery of the man on the wing remains unsolved. And for Alex, every flight is a reminder that the world is far stranger and more mysterious than we can ever imagine. If you found this story touching and inspiring, please like the video, share it with others, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for following along, and we'll see you next time for more uplifting tales.